Hello Internet, my name is Richard. This video is for Peachy and whoever else bothered to read the YouTube thread. This is a Hornby TT120 08 shunter thing. Oh yeah, here's the end of the box, there you go. Now it does say it's DCC ready, which is true. It is DCC ready, but not with sound, at least that's what Hornby would tell you. They will say there's not enough space in there for a speaker, and to an extent they're correct. Yeah, so I happen to have, so I've got the Flying Scotsman over here, and I brought the HM7000 for it, which came with a speaker, even though I didn't need it because the speaker was already in the back there. So I kind of kept it spare, and I'm glad I did, because it is now actually in here. It's inside this little loco. It's towards the front there, and I've got a DCC controller, which is this MS500N. Now, annoyingly, I'm very new to the hobby, as you can probably tell by this is it. This is everything I own. I kind of assumed that this kind of Bluetooth or some way of loading sounds was quite common. No, it's not. You have to get the retailer or whoever's supplying it to do that for you. Luckily, I had a chat with the bloke, and he says, "Oh yeah, what sounds do you want?" I was like, "Oh, I'll have the 08." No, apparently, the equipment to get that sounds on there is quite expensive, so make sure you get that right first time. So this has got that Zemo decoder in here. It's got a speaker in here. It does work. The basic, I'm not ready to share everything yet because this is a very rough video filmed on my mobile phone, no editing or anything. Basically, inside the loco, you remove this bit, and so the hole that you can see, the big hole you can see in the middle there, that has a wire going through it. So you have to unsolder that wire, remove this, resolder that wire, and then, well, these aren't failed prints, but they're all the wrong size. I have to keep tweaking the sizes. So the fourth one is in there, and even then it's not perfect, but it's close enough that it works. And you replace that with this, and what happens is that sits over the motor. And with this, because this is shorter, it's plenty of space for that, and it's just enough space, and I do mean just enough space behind it for the Sugar Cube speaker to sit. However, even the smallest enclosure, which is this one here, which is missing now, even the smallest enclosure was a little bit too big, so I had to also 3D print a enclosure for it as well. The parts are very simple and basic and easy to print. These ones take about 12 to 15 minutes. The enclosure took about 4 minutes, maybe 5, something like that. So it's a very basic parts. When I'm ready to share everything, and I will share it, I'm just trying to get everything refined right now. Then you'll be able to print these off as well, or get some sort of 3D printing service to do it for you. So it does work. However, on the layout, on this bit of track, these points, turnouts, whatever they're called, it does get stuck, and it's stuck in this position. This was running, and then it got stuck here. It sometimes goes through as if there's no problem at all. Sometimes it stutters, and sometimes it just outright stops, as it has done here. So what we'll do is we'll give this a little nudge with my finger, push that forward, and then you can hear noises, and hopefully in a moment you should see movement. Now, one thing I've noticed with this, and it was the same with that one actually, with the HM7000 stuff, the low end speed is so much better. So if that's important to you, then DCC is a good thing to have anyway. But as you can see and hear, it's running. Now it's running from a very unfinished DCC controller at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to make it make any noises, because that means quitting this camera phone app to make the noises. But just trust me, I press function buttons, and noises come out. It does work. However, it does not work over Bluetooth. It won't work through the Hornby DCC app, which is obviously fair enough. It's not advertised as such, but it does work. But it is ultra sensitive, so I didn't even realise I had a bit of dodgy track up here. Cleaned it with a little track rubber thing, and that sorted that right out. I have cleaned this multiple times and gone over with isopropyl alcohol. And that time, no problem at all. Strange, isn't it? But other times it will stutter and stop. Now, in the pack, there was this, what's this called? A capacitor. This is great, and I'm very happy it was included. Great work. It's just far too large. It is, I mean, look, it's just too big. There was no space in it. I almost got it back here where some of the wiring goes up and down. I need a smaller one, and I don't have one around, so I'm going to see if I can order one and get one in quite quickly. If I can get something that's half the size of this, the instructions kind of say that, you know, don't get something too small, it won't do anything. But the other problem I have, there we go, so it's stopped now. The other problem I have is that this is all running at 10.4 volts when that thing is running. So the instructions say you need to have it at 12 volts, otherwise this capacitor again doesn't do anything. Maybe having it at 12 volts might make it run faster. Apparently that was full speed. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm very well. Look at it. Just look at it. I'm very, very clearly very new to all of this, so I'm learning as I go here, guys. So please do be gentle. So yeah, it's a very quick video, which is already nearly 6 minutes long, to say it is possible. You can do it. It's just really fiddling. This has taken me a few hours, but the thing is, I can then reverse this if I need to. So if I need to send this back to Hornby and say that there's a fault with it, the motor's burnt out or whatever's wrong with it, that's then not a problem. I can then reverse it, put this piece back in, put the blanking plate back in, take out everything else. Nothing's super glued in, nothing's been cut, nothing's been dremeled away. It's literally just replacement of a part, which I can just put in the box, you know, and then it's just, I know where it is and it's safe. But it does work, it does work, everyone. So Hornby weren't wrong, right? With their equipment, you can't get sound in here, but with this decoder instead, you can get sound in here. So the big downside is, while the train costs, is it £115, something like that? This costs £115 as well. It pretty much doubled the price of the train. Yeah, online these are between £115 and £125, depending where you go. I managed to get it for £115. Yeah, it works, but it doubled the price of the train, and that did frustrate me. I don't know if that's normal price, to be honest, with these decoders. I have no idea. Yeah, there you go. Glided through, that's no problem. So just a small capacitor will sort that out. So here you go, Peachy. It is possible. I'm not yet ready to show everything because I want to kind of redo it a little bit. There's a lot. I've not cut any of the wires that are going out of the decoder or going into the speaker. So there's a lot of excess wires in this box. So I kind of want to get that sorted before I go any further. But it can be done. So once I've got the stay alive in there, or capacitor, whatever it's called, once I've got that in there, once I've just tidied everything up, I'll share what I've done, and I'll share my STL files as well, so you can print off these things here. And there we go, it's just stopped again as well. So yeah, I'll share everything because I want people to be able to do this. It's quite a nice little thing. I do want to make sure every train I have has got sound and DCC in it in some fashion. Okay, right, that's enough of this. Thank you, Peachy, for making that review yesterday. You inspired me when you said, oh, there's plenty of room for a Sugar Cube speaker, and I realised I have a Sugar Cube speaker, and I was working on it last night, and I was working on it again this morning. So yeah, you've inspired this, so thank you for your video, and hopefully others enjoy this video as well, despite how amateurish it's been filmed. Thanks.